Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're not familiar, I'm on an entrepreneurial, particularly software as a service journey to make web services, at least for the first 1 to 2 years, until I get the ball rolling. And I've been on this journey since the start of this year, where at first I focused on developing like a project and task management system just for myself to use, and also just making sure that I can set up my computer for productivity and that I can continue on this journey for long enough. Right now I have enough runway for about, I think like, 16 months. But realistically it's probably more like 12 months. And if I needed to sell my investments, I could probably continue on this journey for another 5 years after that. So I do have enough runway to just fail by the time I'm 30, have no net worth, just be no. But regardless of that, I'm always going to be learning, and so worst case, like, can work for a startup or something like that, which isn't even a bad case. But anyways, made my own website, so you can check that out, franciscomonroy.xyz, to see the specifics of the projects that I'm working on. And so now I'm following my path, and the path that I set out is, first, I want to learn about everything it takes to start from an idea to actually have like mock-ups. What does the product actually look like, and how do I know that it's good? And so that there are important, I guess, concepts or topics that I need to learn, and those include market research, competitive analysis, customer discovery, and then also UX UI design. And in particular, the software for that is Figma. And in parallel to that, also learning Git, because I'm going to be working with code, keeping track of all the different versions of apps and websites that I'm going to go through is going to be important for me. So those are two things that I'm focused on. And let's see. So going back to here. So this week, this video is covering the last 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This week has really been more of a slow start. I've been spending about 3 to 4 hours a day learning Git, learning Figma. And the reason that it's been off to a slow start is because I'm trying to rebuild the health habits that I started to build in February and April. So at no point in my life were these just habits that I already had. And those habits include running, eating, and sleep, I think. And so for me, running or exercise in general is the first thing that I'm trying to do consistently every single day. And I'm starting off with running because I have high blood pressure, and running, is just great. This sounds so dumb, but I don't know any other way to articulate it right now. But running is great for the heart, and it gets your VO2 max, which is one of the best indicators for longevity. Running. And my first goal is to run like a half marathon at a 7:30 pace. After that, run a marathon sub 3 hours. And then after that, focus on like martial arts. But for now, running. And now that I'm getting into the habit of it, before, actually, I was plagued with like shin splints, runner's toes, so always having issues. And now I'm just trying to get my mileage up to the point where I realize that I'm starting to feel the shin splints come again. But this time I know more, I guess, physical therapy exercises to mitigate the issues with shin splints. So just trying to get my mileage up right now. And that's causing me to be just completely exhausted by like 3-4 in the afternoon. And I always end up taking like a 2 to 3 hour nap, and that just completely wastes my afternoon. I'm also running like really early, and that's causing me to tan a little too much, and being like the health freak I am, that makes me worry that like I'm gonna get skin cancer if I keep doing this all year. But anyways, that's the first thing. Second thing, eating. I meal prep every single meal at the start of a week, or at the end of the previous week, I guess. And so right now my meal prep looks like oatmeal in the morning, lentils, quinoa, chicken, potatoes, or quinoa, and yam for lunch, and then just straight up lettuce, 3 cherry tomatoes, 8 baby carrots, and broccoli, and 3 eggs for dinner. And right now it's too much. Like it's literally too much food. um, I'm telling you, I have like vegan and protein farts because it's also very protein packed. I'm getting about 100 grams of protein, and I want to try to reach 130 grams of protein a day. And so right now it's just overwhelming me, and I'm not even getting through the lunch for the whole day. And so this is something that either I need to get used to or I need to adjust my portion sizes, but whatever. I thought it'd be an important aspect to mention because for me, entrepreneurship is more than just, are you working hard? It's also, are you taking care of yourself long enough so that you can see through the benefits, reap the rewards of your actions? So yeah, 2 things I'm working on. The other thing is I'm married, but we're going through issues. And that, I guess, takes a lot emotionally. And these 3 things, well, not eating, but working on this just takes a lot more time than I anticipated to start. And so we're off to a slow start. But what I have been focusing on this week is learning Git, learning Figma, as I mentioned. For Git, I have been studying the Pro Git book written by these 2 authors, and I believe one of them is the founder of GitHub. And I got through the first 99 pages, so almost done with the most important aspects. So I covered remote branches, just need to finish rebasing. And then after that, the other topics are a little bit more advanced or corner case. Git on the server, don't need that anytime soon. Might need this, distributed Git. This might be interesting to read. This seems like very corner case corner case usage. I just plan to use it on a terminal. This one again, maybe for corner cases. Don't think I need this, don't think I need this, don't think I need this, don't think I need this. This might be interesting. So I do want to skim everything though, at least. The rest of the parts that I don't need. So my goal is probably recap up to page 104, then practice it for at least, let's say 3 hours. So I can do that this week. And then every weekend following this, just read 50 pages. 25 pages Saturday, 25 pages Sunday. And we should get through the rest of the book in about 2 months, which is fine with me because the 80% that was most important was in the first 104 pages. You can see all my notes so far. So I'll probably make a video where I'm just going over my notes, practicing, and yeah. So that's Git. Next up is Figma. And I already kind of touched on this, but why Figma? Figma seems like it's too broad, or I don't know what complaints people might come up with. But the first, I guess, pillar of my journey, or the first milestone, is, can I take an idea and make a mock-up in Figma that I know is research, that I know will work, that has opportunity. And how you go about doing that, as I mentioned, there's market research, competitive analysis, customer discovery, all these different concepts. And a lot of it can be very broad and abstract. But the first sort of thing that is clear to me is just, I need to learn how to use Figma. And so why not just take that first step? So I have been following a Udemy course that's just, it's 12 hours total. So that's clear. What is it? What's the word? It's just concise, to the point. Finish this in a week. If I would have preferred to finish it this week, but we'll have to finish it next week. And then once I get through that, I also want to skim a lot of these resources, see what's useful, see what's not, and then also start learning some of the other concepts such as market research, competitive analysis, and also start developing my portfolio, because through some of those resources that I collected, I've been taking notes. People are saying like learn Figma ASAP, but then once you learn Figma, start working on projects. Think about or recreate like features of apps you use, and from there look for actual projects to work on, develop your own projects. So it is useful. Yeah, so this week was Git, Figma. Didn't advance as far as I wanted on Figma. Git, I'm close to finishing off. I would have wanted to like finish 50 pages a day, but it's just so, maybe not dense, but so technical that it's hard to get through 50 pages and actually know that you've internalized everything in there. So we're making it work. But I guess the key for me is just knowing that week over week, you can't really put a percentage to it, but I know that like, actually you can. How many hours was I productive this week? And let me improve that by 10%, 20%, 30% the next week. And then you start getting to the point where it's like, I'm really productive, and now it's like, I need 1 or 2 hours more. And so where do I cut that from? If there is any other fat that I can cut from. And so right now my goal is just get to the point where I'm working at least 8 hours. Once I start working 8 hours, and it's like, okay, where can I start cutting fat from that I might be spending too much time? Am I exercising for too long? Is my shower routine too long? Which it isn't, but that's sort of how I'm going to approach this. And that's it, I guess, for this recap. Moving forward, I'm still not sure, while I'm trying to figure out my groove, if I want to make videos daily or just like at the end of every week summarize what was good, what was bad, what I learned, how it's going. Yeah, stay tuned and you'll see my journey.